Oh, what's going on? This is Singapore Math 6A, and we're doing problems or day 29, page 57 to 58. Okay, the cost of a price of a television is $1,200. It's sold for $900. Express the selling price as a percentage of the cost price. Okay, so you have $900 is how much you have. $1,200 is how much the full value is. Cool. So this cancels out like that. I have 9 over 12. Before I do any dividing, I can reduce this fraction. This would be 3 over 4. Got it? All right. I'm going to tell you now I know the answer. 3/4 is the same as 75%. Because if I have 3/4, which is what that expresses, if I have 3/4, it would be 75%. I know that answer. That's not a hard thing to calculate. Now, let's actually do the math for it. 3 divided by 4 is this. How many times can 4 go into 3? That answer is none times. So I put a decimal here and a decimal here, and I can tack on as many zeros as I want. How many times can 4 go into 30? 7 times, because that's 28. 7 times 4 is 28. Drop this down. This becomes a 2. I'm going to add an extra 0. How many times can 4 go into 20? That's 5 times. Like I said, it was 0.75 is your answer, but it expresses a percentage, 75%. So you can tell your friends, oh, this TV was actually $1,200, but I bought it for 75% of the price. And this is really important when you go out because, I mean, sometimes they might have like a 25% off sale. And that would be, you would be paying 75%. So, and you would save a lot of money, which is a good thing. All right. They want me to do this. Okay. The usual price of a vacuum cleaner is $150. It's sold for $120. What is the discount? Okay. So here's what I want to figure out. I think the way I'm going to go about this is a little bit different from the way they're doing it. And I'll show you both ways. The way I'm going to do this is I'm going to say, let's refer back to the same exact problem as before, as the one we just did. $120 is how much it's sold for. $150 is how much it actually cost. I can cancel those out and I have 12 over 15. Can I reduce that any? I don't think so. Okay. So I'm going to say how many times can 15 go into 12? 0 times. I can add an extra 0. How many times can 15 go into 120? 15 can go into 120. Let's see. Isn't that like 4 times? No, 8 times. Because 15 times 2 is 30. 15 times 4 is 60. And 15 times 8 is 120. Yeah, good. So that's perfect. Zeroed it out. So my answer is 0.8 or 80%. Oh, that's horribly written. Sorry. 80%. Now, you bought this vacuum cleaner, or this vacuum cleaner sold for 80% of the original price. So if you saw a a sign that says buy the vacuum cleaner for 80% of $150, you would say, oh, okay, then you know it's exactly $120. Does that make sense? So I guess the question that they were asking is, how much was the discount price? Or what percentage was the discount? And the answer is, it is actually 20% off because you bought it for 80%, which means it's 20% less than the full 100%, which is $150. So my answer would be 20%. All right? Because 80% is how much the percentage of the original price it was, or you could say it's actually 20% off, which is the same as saying it's 80% of the cost. Does that make sense? All right. The other way to do this is actually the way the book did it, is they said, well, how much money did you save? Okay. I saved $30. Where did I get $30 from? Well, 150 minus 120, because 150 is how much you paid for it, 120 is how much, or 150 is how much it's worth, 120 is how much you paid for it, so you paid $30 less. And you divide that by the full amount, which is 150. All right, so then we go, what is 30 divided by 150? Put a decimal here. Well, it can't go any times, we know that. Put an extra 0. How many times can 150 go into 300? Answer is 2. So my answer is 0.2 or 20%. Which is the same exact answer as I got before. Does that make sense? Now, it seems like this way is easier, but actually I think that the other way was easier. The other way just took more steps. This way, you're right, this way is easier, but the thing is, you have to make sure you know what you're going for. Whereas with the other way, it was like the same exact steps as before. You can learn either way. It doesn't really matter to me, as long as you learn it and as long as you understand what you're doing. All right, let's try this last one. Sumin weighed 40 kilograms last year. She weighs 43 kilograms now. Express the increase in weight as a percentage of her weight last year. Okay, so let's do it their way, which is a good way. She weighs 40 kilograms now, or she weighed 40 kilograms last year. She weighs 43 kilograms now, so that means she went up 3 kilograms. Okay? And I want to express it as a percentage of her weight last year. So the full percentage of her weight last year was 40 kilograms. So we just got to figure out what that is in terms of what you call it, percentage. So how many times can 40 go into the number 3? Definitely 0 times. Can it go, how many times can 40 go into 30? 0 times again. So I put another 0. How many times can 4 go into 300? Or 40 go into 300? That would be 7 times. Because this is 4 times 7 is 280. I drop these down. I've got 20 here. Because 300 minus 280 is 20. I'll add an extra 0 to drop down. How many times can 40 go into 200? Well, that's 5 times. So my answer is 0.075, which in percentage form, that's 0.5%, or 7.5%. So she increased her weight by 7.5%. Or you could say, Suman, so she was 40 now, and if she went up by 7.5%, then she'll go to 43. Or you could say, Suman is 107.5% of what she weighed last year. Because saying that she increased her weight by 7.5% and saying that she now weighs 107.5% is the same thing. But I think that the answer that they're looking for is 7.5%. All right, hopefully that helps.